Top of the middle of the day to you boys and girls. We're going to do a little saw taste test comparison. We actually have a gaggle of Stihls. We have the stock MS461. We have a about 5-hour, 7-hour bone stock, except I got rid of the decompression valve. MS660. We have a Insano SS version 461. We have a Psy-Ko version 462, and we have my personal, I call it a 481 because that saw is an animal, Torque Monster 461, if you will. So 5 saws. We're gonna have to pause the video between the changes of the chain because it snowed last night, and what we're dealing with is saws are going to be pretty cold at the end of the process. I'm going to have to take some time to warm everything back up. But what we were going to do in the beginning is take a look at the stop elevation, breakers, riders, depth gauges. People refer to them as many different things. They're basically doing some of a little bit of breaking out of the sawdust chips, in addition to setting the elevation that the chain tooth can actually cut to. Anyway, let's take a look at the elevation on these. So we zeroed our gauge. Hopefully you can see the 0 number. Poor thing is suffering from cool, I think, not actually behaving perfectly correctly. Zeroed it out. So we're about 47 or something there, and you can see maybe the precipitation started again since it snowed last night. That one says 54. I'm taking my stops down by hand, so nobody's perfect, right? .51, and we'll check this one here. .49. That one could have been an anomaly, but I did mention I am only human, and I actually have said that I'm not perfect, so there you go. So we can hear this thing struggling, especially when you're trying to get the RPMs past about 11. Stab the throttle, it picks up slight blip with your thumb, picks up to about 8 to 9,000 or something lame. That's why I call them Stockleys. And we watched a couple of cuts under bucking. That's where you can really tell what the saw's doing power-wise. And this one doesn't have much, obviously. We're having a hard time pulling the chain, chattering because of the lack of power. So we're going to swap the bar and chain out, put it on the 660 next, and try it again. Alright, so now we have the completely stock except for the decompression valve is gone, 660. Okay, so we saw how the 660 was going through that a little bit better with the same chain as the 461. It definitely feels a lot better down low. You want to talk about low end power, of course. 660 leaves the 461 in the dust a little bit there. So we're going to swap the bar and chain out. Oh, you would expect that from a 91.6 cc saw, I think it is, versus a 76.5 thereabouts. 461, we would hope in stock form there would be some performance differential. All right, now next up on the agenda is 462 up next. Okay, so we just watched the 462 go through. That's a 30-inch Samora lightweight bar. I didn't really mention the chain, full comp Windsor chain. We did talk about the elevation of the stops, rakers, riders, depth gauges, however you want to term it. I'm thinking that this saw is beating up on the stock 660 actually. So I'm actually well pleased a little bit about this saw. Took it to California, nuked some redwoods with it, so we're kind of getting close to sending it back to the owner, and he's been gracious enough to allow me to have this for a period of time. We started out with the Insano SS, and my saw was winning against this one. My 462 was built almost exactly 2 years ago, November of 2017. And it was a Psy-Ko level zip kit of that time. If I'm doing my R&D appropriately, then things will progress a little bit, and this saw runs better than mine. After I brought it back and went a little bit further to the quote-unquote Psy-Ko level with the zip kit operation. And we just watched it, and we're going to check the times to verify that it actually did well against the stock 660. So check the description for those numbers. And now we're going to do the Insano SS version 461. Next up we have the fourth in the levels, the Insano SS, which it has the first stage of combustion chamber work along with the flow enhancement tricks. It's pretty fresh out of the shop. We're not spinning it up too high actually, and you can probably see the participation from the clouds with the precipitation. It's actually snowing lightly at the moment. So, yeah, winter is upon us. So with any luck, this saw is running a second or so faster than what we saw with the 462, but it's at least 1,000, if not 1,500 RPMs off of being properly tuned in, so they won't even come alive for another 1,000 RPMs when we're running at the 13.5 number, 5.6, whatever, that we saw earlier. Now we're going to swap it out for my Psy-Ko saw, and we're going to run that thing where I like it more so, carburation-wise. Okay, so we started getting a little bit more participation with the precipitation here, and it's windy and cold, so we're going to run my saw through the process, check it out, make a couple cuts. We've got just about enough left on the log. And then we'll be wrapping it up with some dialogue, I guess. here's what it's like on the cylinder wall after that operation. It was about 130 or something when I checked it beforehand. I did a couple extra cuts coming up so we could verify that the torque monster is just exactly that. You can lug it down, she keeps moving right along. Probably about 400,000 board feet cut on that saw, which means we have many days. You can see the size of the cut, it's over 3 feet long, or the log essentially. So it's not some little lightweight thing. I definitely can't pick it up. And anyway, we got a chance to watch 5 different saws in the saga. Some of them relatively close to the same displacement. 72.2 on the end, 91.6 on the other end, I think it is anyway, if my memory's serving me correctly. And this one's kicking everybody's butt for sure, well, at least in this saw-off session. And I don't know what to say. I'm super well pleased at how that saw turns out. I'm super well pleased at how it runs. And we got a good idea on comparing in a little mini cut, so that thing's only like 18 inches in diameter, how it would do against a stock 660, since there seems to be some, well, I guess questions comparatively we got to see. Thanks for watching this snowy session. Thanksgiving is coming up. Veterans Day is just a little bit behind us. We got to be thankful that we have veterans that serve our country and give us a safe haven to reside in, because without those people, we don't have the same situation in our democracy as we do now, where you can go wherever you want and say whatever you want. So let us be thankful this holiday, Thanksgiving, for our veterans for sure. Thank you for your service, ladies and gentlemen. Have a blessed day wherever you might be on God's green earth. Oh, and have a good Thanksgiving as well. Thanks for watching.